Man, my luck. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. Computer decided it temporarily didn't want to live. So, we resuscitated it. We're back. Hopefully, you can find us again, Patu. Okay. Okay, cool. Yay, you found it. Awesome. Okay, we'll keep going. That was dumb. Thanks, computer. You're great, Mufasa, you motherfucker. This is what I get for hand-me-downs. The uniform was that from the fixer, too. Uh-huh, sure was. Heard he had something on one of the guards. Had the guy swipe it from a pal's locker. And were you wearing it when you were crawling through the tunnel? Nope. Would've got dirt on it. Had to hold on till I got to the holding cell. Once I was out there and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Here we go, I thinks. Freedom beckons, and then the furball here jumps up at me. You shouldn't have developed such a beautiful friendship. Which would be the moment captured on camera. I see. I'd be grateful if you would add that to your testimony. Once I was out of that tunnel and all dressed up, opening the cell door should have been a piece of cake. Except it wasn't, because the keys didn't exist for you. Question mark. You claim that leaving the holding cell would have been a piece of cake, as you put it. Yeah, you got a problem with that? Because we can make it a problem if you catch my drift. I thought that said draft for a second. I was like, my good sir. Threaten me properly with correct words. Even once you had reached Knight's cell, you still had another door to contend with. How exactly did you plan on opening it? Oh, I punched him, I guess. Mr. Costareto, I posit that leaving the cell would have been a piece of cake only because you had the key. I don't got no stinking key, you liar. You goddamn liar. I didn't need one. It was a piece of cake because the door was open. I walked right out. You fucking idiot. Wow. We have video evidence, you motherfucker. Yes, I suppose Knight's cell was vacant by that point. There would have been no reason to lock it, except... No, there would have been every reason to lock it, I think. Because he left while Knight was being murdered. I guess we still haven't, like, said exactly how Knight's body got through. Ah, fuck this case. And it wasn't to get unlocked when I went to examine it for myself. So perhaps when you finally succeeded today, it truly was unlocked because it was after the murder. Oh, okay, that's fair. But you had attempted to escape previously.
Yeah, the security footage shows when you tried and failed because Teddy caught you.
Which was during the circus performance, before the body was discovered. The holding cell was still locked at that time because no one knew that Knight had been killed yet. Therefore, you must have had the key to his cell on you. Without it, your escape would not have been possible.
Get around.
Are you saying... Could he really have... I'm going to continue with this game. I do want to finish it because this is the first time I've actually ever played this game. And I don't... Like, as frustrating as it is, I don't think I want to leave it hanging. But I think... I'm currently debating, like, after this whole game is done... on either streaming the fan disc of Amnesia Memories, or maybe like playing something off my PlayStation. I'm not 100% sure. It's something I'm still kind of debating on at the moment. I think when I'm closer to deciding, if I'm still not sure, I might throw a poll in our Discord, kind of like what Luke does for Edgelord. So, well, I'll see. I'll see. I believe you could, yes. The theft of the keys was, in fact, perpetrated by none other than Mr. Costareto. Oh, is he... Oh! He was the one who attacked the guard. Oh. You guys suck at your jobs. Like, so bad. Jesus. But not just the guard. Knight, too. All to gain possession of the guard's keys. It wasn't me, you lousy bum! I didn't even know this Knight guy! That doesn't really matter, but okay. After you stole the keys, you went back to your cell to avoid suspicion. And then you waited for the perfect moment to escape. A moment when the prison would be almost deserted. That's right, the moment of the show. Just before the discovery of the body. Unluckily for you, that particular attempt was thwarted by your furry friend. Says who, huh? You told us. You literally told us if it hadn't been for your fluffy friend. Oh, I guess he's meaning about this escape, but it's like, obviously, dude, if this guy thwarted you now, he thwarted you before. It's your buddy. Got proof, genius? This ain't your win yet, nuh-uh. Knight knocked the guard out for the count, and everybody knows it. Don't play games with me. Knight was as much a victim as the guard in this case. As a matter of fact, I have proof that Knight had been attacked in his cell. I mean, yeah, I thought this was how we proved he was murdered there.
Take that.
We found traces of Knight's blood on the cleanly wiped floor of his cell. What could possibly explain such a thing other than him having been attacked? And it was you who attacked him. You ambushed the both of them and stole the keys. Ooh, ow, we sucker punched the bitch, apparently. Why, I oughta. What's with you, huh? That newspaper wiped that blood up good. Ain't no way you should have found it.
Okay, but why do you think you had to wipe it up anyway?
If they checked Knight in the guard's hands, they would have seen those two never came to blows. But that blood'll give up the whole game. Ain't no way they don't figure that there was a third man in the ring. I mean, fair, I guess. Plus, once they started sniffing around on the floor, they'd have found the tunnel in a heartbeat. So you wiped up the blood to buy yourself a little more time, so you could wait for a better opportunity. Sadly, the opportunity you sought wasn't good enough to get you clear of the prison, it seems. Now, hand over the keys! Oh, what the fuck? Oh, slow motion punch. Am I about to be attacked by Teddy? Or was he just getting off? Please tell me he's now latched onto Edgeworth. That'd actually be really funny. Oh, nope, he's back. Okay, damn it. Come on, guys. Go back to when the freakouts would affect the main character, like when Sawat threw his wig at Phoenix, or Godot threw coffee at him, or something. Come on, gang. Fine, you want keys? Here, I hope you choke on them. Thank you.
Overruled.
Oh, wait a moment. If Mr. Cosaredo here had the keys. Indeed, Your Honor. Your theory relies on Knight having used the keys he allegedly stole to escape his cell. That was the only way he would have been able to enter Mr. Saint's cage and be moved to the workshop. Unfortunately for you, we now know that that theory cannot possibly be true.
No!
Oh man, it's so nice seeing him slap himself, this stupid bitch. Guess this changes things up a bit, yeah? Now the only person who could have moved Knight's body is the one person who knew about that tunnel. No, you got me freaking... Mr. Costaredo, you're under arrest. Come now quietly, pal. Well, wait, you got the wrong guy. I didn't do nothing. All right, fine. I knocked those two chumps out and I stole the keys. But after that, I went right back to my cell and waited for my moment. Next time I went to Knight's cell, there was nobody around. And I mean nobody. Plus, his body was found in the workshop. You think I just magicked my way in there or something? I couldn't even have gotten out of my cell. Indeed. You only had the key to Knight's cell. You couldn't have left your own cell back in the prison. But Mr. Canis's dog could. What? It was not you, but Helmut who moved the body from your cell to the workshop. I get it now. You're saying he wasn't the only con in this conspiracy. I want to hit you, Shields. I despise you greatly. You perverted, disgusting man. Oh, I smelled burning. It's just my husband using hot glue. I thought I was having a strunk. Indeed, one can easily imagine that Mr. Carcereto and Mr. Canis might have worked together. Mr. Carcereto could have killed Knight and dragged him back to his cell. And then Mr. Canis's dog took him from there to the workshop. There are no restrictions on the animal's movements within the prison. Movement between the detention center and the prison proper, however, is tightly controlled. There was only one possible route, And only you could have taken advantage of it, Mr. Carcereto. How can you be so sure, huh? Maybe there's more of them and you just don't know. Something tells me that digging even a single tunnel was arduous enough. Got that right. You try scraping more than one hole in the dirt with a spoon. Lucky for me, I didn't have to dig the whole way. Somebody already did a bunch of the work for me. What? You didn't dig the entire tunnel yourself? Nope. Found it when they put me in that cell. Ran all the way from here to the well in the yard already. Even looked down the well to check it from there. It was the same tunnel, all right. They just made good on what somebody else already started. Dun dun dun, you're right. And what was the original tunnel for? Alligators, I guess. I know that she's really happy with Allie, the warden. She'd probably used it to, like, sneak in prisoners, like, drop the alligator and eat the prisoners or some shit. I don't know. Who knows? You're the one with all the answers, pal. Maybe somebody else tried to break out.
Ooh, or maybe the animals dug it.
Shit, why am I on the same thinking waves as Kay? I don't want that. No!
Like to get water from the well or something.
I've heard of more plausible... I'm getting attacked by the game and I'm sad about it. I know I was joking, but it still hurts. I've heard of more plausible scenarios than that in B-grade movies, Kay. You... mean... Well's dry, kid. Ain't no water to be had down there. Though, come to think of it, a smell. Yeah, always smelled kind of nice down there. I just thought of something else. It's very not PG. I don't like the sound of that. Nice. Gee, I don't know. It smells sort of like dessert, I guess. A sweet scent. That sounds very familiar. Where did... Oh, shit. I don't remember. Oh, wait, no. It was, yeah. He smelled of sweets. Detective Gumshoe noticed a sweet smell when we were examining Knight's body. With the help of a police dog, we followed the scent of the body and traced its route back through the prison. And that, Mr. Carcereto, was how we found your tunnel. Could that same sweet scent be what you noticed coming from the well? Very clever, Mr. Edgeworth. You mean to suggest that this is evidence of the body having been moved through the tunnel? Yeah? Why is that? I hate you, lady. I do. Furthermore, Mr. Carcereto, you are the only person who could have done it. Nobody else had access. You have our thanks, Mr. Carcereto. Truly. Finally the truth comes into view. When were you looking for the truth, Gavel? You just wanted to, I don't know, make Deweener look better. Excuse me. Now unburden yourself. It is time. Confess your role in this tragic incident. What? You ain't pinning this on me! I am glad to see that we are finally in agreement, Your Honor. We are? Oh, if only we were, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Carcereto may have been an accomplice, but not of Mr. Canis. No, he was working with Mr. Knight. So we're done with Mr. Sate, my client. He's good? We're good? Great, we're done. What do you mean? I do not believe that he moved Mr. Knight's body. Instead, I believe that he lent Mr. Knight the use of the keys he stole.
You gotta be kidding me!
Granted, it seems likely that he attacked Mr. Knight, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Mr. Knight was knocked unconscious as a result. And what if we wasn't? What if we have like a doctor's note? Like we don't have one, but like a doctor checked him over. He got like concussed, I think. And what if he wasn't? What if he and Mr. Carcereto had reached a certain agreement? What kind of agreement, exactly? Mr. Knight was plotting an escape for which he required a means of leaving his cell. And here was that precise means, in the form of the keys Mr. Carcereto had just stolen from the guard. Mr. Carcereto himself would need to pass through Mr. Knight's cell in order to effect his own escape. I think he wanted to use the word enact, not effect. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they wanted to enact. Mr. Knight needed only to shout and alert the guards, and Mr. Carceredo's plan would be ruined. I mean, why would he, honestly? And so, the two struck a deal. Lady, the only striking I do is with my fists! My. Still you deny it. That means it's not true? Because, like, he's already admitted to escape. Attempting to escape. What harm would there have been in admitting he was attempting to help the dead guy? Because that would put him in a better light, in a sense. Because it's like, okay, yes, you attempted to help him, so you might not have killed him. But him vehemently denying would make it look like he killed him. So him actually vehemently denying might actually be kind of the truth. So, we're agreeing that we still disagree? Mr. Knight had Mr. Carceredo unlock his cell so that when Mr. Saint arrived, he could escape into the cage. Can we, like, remember Arkham's, like, no, is it Arkham's Razor? Is that the name of that? Jesus. Like, this is way too complicated. Jeez Louise. Mr. Saint was then able to move him into the prison proper, just as planned. Here we go. And then he took Mr. Knight into the workshop and did the dirty deed. Were neither of you listening? I don't think you know how to use your ears. Do you need to go back to kindergarten to learn critical thinking skills? Good lord! The scent on Knight's body proves that it was taken through the tunnel. You dumb bitch. It was moved from his cell to the... What the fuck? Did you just object me and not overrule me? That's like your thing. What the hell? Shut up, you two. You read my mind. Perhaps if you would let me finish, Mr. Edgeworth. I am not denying that Mr. Knight's body was moved through the tunnel. Then what are you driving at? Is this a trick question? Go back to school, Eustace. How did you pass the bar? I will never understand you. As you say, Mr. Edgeworth, the sweet scent shows the route the body took. However, it did not enter the tunnel from Mr. Knight's cell.
Huh? Then how did it get down there?
There is another possibility. One you seem to have overlooked. The well in the yard. Could a body not have entered the tunnel from there? If you're about to tell me that, like, Saint killed Mr. Knight, then dropped his body into the well during the show, and then the dog grabbed the body from down there and put it in the workshop, I will kill you. No, they're not usually, like, they inflate and throw a lot of red herrings usually in Ace Attorney cases. This one's just, like, a bunch of different logics that make no sense fighting against each other when, like, I'm sure there is such a simple explanation that learning it's going to infuriate me. Like, now I at least know, like, I thought Knight was killed in his cell. And that's what we needed to figure out, is who could have gone into his cell to kill him. And then the dog could have moved the body, sure. But, like, what the fuck? I don't know. And also, Gavel and Eustace are just peak levels of annoying. And they just make their justice system look so stupid. Oh my gosh.
The well in the yard? Oh yeah, that thing!
Yes, that thing, Kay. What have we been talking? Mr. Saint did not take the cage to the workshop. He took it outside. So we're just changing that logic completely. There, he killed Mr. Knight and threw his body down the well. Gavel. Hi, I'm getting really close to this microphone just because I'm... Oh my god. Gavel. The time frame would lead one to remember that there was a goddamn circus show happening in the yard, and that all the prisoners, save 4 technically, I guess, since, well, Knight wasn't part of the prison. He was in detention. So 3 prisoners were not present for, meaning the rest of the prisoners are in the yard. There are witnesses fucking galore, including the warden. What do you mean he was killed in the yard? Oh, I hate this case. Mr. Candace's dog then dragged Mr. Knight's I called it, I guess, her stupid explanation. Fuck, dude. To his owner's cell from the bottom of the well. Gavel, I hate you. On that note, I would ask you to recall something. What was happening in the yard at the approximate time of the body's discovery? Witnesses galore! Gavel, the circus show!
The circus show, right? Regina and Simeon were performing for everyone. Wait, Simeon!
Ah, indeed. And so you see how it must have also have been him who disposed of the body. Bullshit, that well was not hidden from view. Judge Gavel is truly No, she's not, Edgeworth. Don't lie. She so effortlessly adjusted her theory to fit the facts. Not really, but sure. I propose that Mr. Knight was taken to the yard, not the workshop. And as we have established, Mr. Knight was off stage for 15 minutes. Ample time to throw the body down the well, I am sure you agree. Your deduction is impressive, Your Honor. However, even supposing that Knight's body was indeed thrown down the well, you cannot conclusively say that it was during the show. It could have happened at a different time. My sympathies, Mr. Edgeworth, but it simply could not have. Why not? What? Mr. Casaredo was using the tunnel at around the time the show began. Mr. Casaredo, did you happen to trip over a corpse while you were down there? No. Place was clean. So that means it wasn't during the show. It could have been moved that morning. What are we talking about? What? If the body had been at the bottom of the well before the show began, Mr. Casaredo would have seen it. However, he saw no such thing. Whoa. Who's to say it wasn't, like, up in the well, in the hole? Which makes it somewhat difficult to support your theory. Furthermore, Mr. Knight's body was discovered in the workshop after the show. In summary, the body must have been thrown down the well and moved to the workshop. At some point during the show. Tell me, who else could have done that but Mr. Saint? It could have been Regina. It could have been the warden, I guess, unless she was watching. It could have been any of the prisoners.
What do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
The body did indeed enter the tunnel from the well. Things don't look good for Mr. Saint. Still, Your Honor, your theory is still just that, a theory. And I posit that you lack the evidence to back it up. I concede that. For the moment, I do not. May I suggest that we investigate the yard again? Jesus, lady. Very well. May the goddess of justice go with you. Okay, thank you, madam, for your blessing. Now then, to the yard. Perhaps we can finally put this case to rest. That's weird. What's that sound?
Yikes, is there a fire?
Did somebody else escape? Should we maybe skip down too? Fender, you coward. Darlings, please, there's nothing to be alarmed about. By which I mean that's not an alarm. It's the dinner bell. Madam, you need to pick a fucking different alarm. Your poor security officers are like panicking every mealtime. Jesus. I hate this fucking prison. Although I suppose it's rather alarming if you aren't used to it.
Certainly scared the heck out of me.
I'm so sorry, Sweet Pea. I hope you can forgive us. All right, you two, back to your posts. Chop, chop. And as for you, Rocco Carcerato, it's time you went back to your room with the hole in it that you could easily escape through. Fine, and get the picture. Come on, Teddy. We're out of here. Aw, he let him lick his hand. Teddy's the best part of that duo. Warden Lagarde, we'd like to take one more look around the yard now. Oh, darlings, don't you have homes of your own to go to? Visiting hours are over, I'm afraid. Tomorrow. No, it's imperative that we investigate it right away. I think we've had enough excitement for one day, don't you? Murderers, escapees, so eventful. Madam, you know this is how evidence gets cleaned up. What the fuck? Yeah, no, she totally did this. What the fuck? If she's trying to be like, no, you can't investigate the crime scene. You must go home to sleep so that I may, tidy up. It's time our guest went home to Betty Buys, isn't it? Yes, yes it is. Come on now, darling. Don't make me bore you with all that. I am the warden. This is an order nonsense. Overrule her. Gavel. No, she's not. What the fuck? I'm okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Warden Lagarde is right. We're all dipshits. Let the crime be erased. It's fine. Her word is law here, and we must respect her wishes. No, dude, you're her boss, basically. You can tell her to do whatever you want. You're a judge. Mr. Edgeworth, your investigation of the yard will have to wait until tomorrow, when all the evidence has been burned up. We're so good at our jobs. You may keep your badge for now. The matter of your standing can wait. I hate her. Oh my gosh. Did you mean OC? Or does OP stand for something else? Because all I can think of is opening. Oh, yeah. Oh my god. I bid you all good day. Don't. Just leave. Get the fuck out of my face. You two, DeWinter, you've done nothing, you brat. What are you waiting for, kittykins? Off you go. Fine, at least there is a tomorrow for me. Oh, oppressor. Oh, I did not know that. Okay. Yeah, no, definitely OP. Judge Gavel believes that Knight's body was dropped down the well and then taken through Mr. Carcerato's cell to the workshop. But is that truly the case? Do the facts really support her theory? No, they fucking don't. I bet you anything. She also seems to believe Mr. Saint had to be the one to move the body. But was he really the only one with the opportunity to do so? No. Sorry, I gotta fix my mic stand really quick. It's being done.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Tomorrow's another day. We'll figure out a way to save Simeon. I know we will.
Yes, we will. I will prove that Mr. Saint is innocent, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh my god, what do you mean? How long? We were in the ladder. What do you mean? We're still in the ladder. I hate you, game. Oh, please let me beat this. Oh, the circus stuff is gone. See, she cleaned up everything. What the fuck? I hate everything. Here we are again. Let's hope we can find something this time that will finally reveal the truth behind it all. Although that might be easier said than done.
There's nothing left to investigate!
This is tampering with a crime scene. She should be arrested. Judge Gavel's deduction yesterday. I know, I guess it's a good way to, like, have Little Thief be useful, I guess. But, like, man, how would we know certain details? I'm just skipping through this because we technically already read those. I don't fucking care. Shut up, Gavel. You and your fucking extendo gavel. Had Knight's body really been thrown down the well? The answer to that question will surely show us the way forward. But before we begin, I should tidy up my organizer a little. Okay, cool. Thanks. I don't know.
Let's see here. Oh, there's a cover on it.
I mean, there was yesterday, I'm pretty damn sure. Dried up well, slap bang in the middle of a prison? Figures it'd be locked.
Well, luckily, I'm a master lockpicker. Want me to do my stuff?
I think not. We'll do this investigation by the book.
Come on, don't be such a stick in the mud. Whoa!
What is it, Kay?
The lock's broken. And from the looks of it, it's been broken for a long time.
If that's the case... Yeah, I don't know either. Just... Maybe it used to be one of those, like, grabby claws that, like, people use to pick up shit off the ground when they can't bend over properly. I think they make extendo ones of that. And then she's just like, if I put my hammer on the end of this, my gavel, I'll even be stronger than the other judges. I'm a genius. And anyone could have thrown Knight's body down the well. Judge Gavel's theory was that Mr. Saint carried out the murder here in the yard. And then, during the performance, he threw the body down the well. What are you thinking, Miles Sereno? Miles Sereno? I hate you, Fender. I hate you so much. Plausible or no?
Oh, why don't we see if Missile can help us out again? He'll be able to tell us if Mr. Knight's body was here, and which way it went.
Good idea. I'll call Detective Gumshoe. Gumshoe, please bring our puppy. Gumshoe speaking. Detective, I need your assistance. Come to the prison yard and bring Missile with you. You bet, sir! Gumshoe severed secret weapons to the rescue again, huh? I'm fairly sure Missile belongs to the precinct. Let Gumshoe have this. He takes care of Missile. He raised him. I'd also like you to bring one of our witnesses. Call the Barry Big Circus and ask Miss Regina Barry to come down here with you. Yes, sir. I'll be there before you know it. How did Detective Gumshoe not lose his badge yesterday?
So what shall we do while we're waiting for Gummy? How about a quick game of hide and go seek?
Kay, how old are you? Baby, you're 18. What the fuck you doing? Fun idea, kiddo. But where exactly will we hide? He's not seriously considering it. Your game can wait, Kay. We need to call on one of your more practical skills. I think you know the one.
Oh, you bet I do. One crime scene recreation coming right up.
Huh? Say what now?
Let me show you. Introducing a great thief's great secret weapon, Little Thief. Boopy boopy boop.
Whoa! Screens appearing from thin air. This isn't some next level tech, little sis. Want to talk me through the deets? What are you doing now?
I'm inputting everything we need for the simulation.
I don't know how you're doing that, but sure. Allow me to explain. This is Mr. Thief. Edgeworth, why are you being formal to the fucking device? It's Little Thief and you know it is. Why is it Mr. Thief now? Is that... What the fuck, Edgeworth? It's a device that can recreate crime scenes at specific moments in time. What? Yeah, at specific moments in time based on the data you feed it.
How about I start us off with a recreation of what the yard looked like yesterday?
I'm glad you can remember in such fine detail. Thank God. Good idea. That was when they were in the middle of tearing down the stage. Didn't pay much attention to the well then. Who knows, we may have overlooked something.
Which I also looked at perfectly, I guess. Leave it to me. I'll use the photo I took.
You took a photo? I don't remember you doing that.
Beepity beep boop beep.
You actually say that? I thought that was... He's now bad for the machine. Edgeworth, you already have 2 boyfriends. I don't know. Well, I mean, it is basically a polycule at this point. Add Little Thief in, I guess.
That's all the data. Just gotta pump the projection power to max and... Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, when alone remains all seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
Yipes, what is this? I wish he had appeared in the stage. That kind of actually would have been funnier if he's like in the hologram, like, oh, I'm dead.
It's a recreation of how things were yesterday. Modeled on the data I gave Little Thief. This gadget was a tool used by the original Yatagarasu.
I'm glad that you could just openly say that, woman. Like, it's not like the Yatagarasu was a criminal at large. Before. Oh yeah, Bad was arrested for that, though.
But they used it to plan robberies.
Well, there's no harm in using it for something on the right side of the law now.
Oh, but keep in mind that it can only recreate what you tell it to. It can simulate things it doesn't have data. It can't simulate things it doesn't have data for, and if the data itself contains mistakes, then you'll wind up with those same mistakes in the recreation too.
But this particular recreation is based on case photo, so we shouldn't run into any problems. That's enough preamble. Shall we get started?
Don't forget, you can examine stuff in the recreation. Blah blah blah, this is all tutorial, it doesn't really matter.
Thank you for the tutorial, Kay. Let's look at that well. Hello, it's the well. It's a metal weight of some kind. Looks like it weighs... The projection makes it a little tricky to read. Do you remember how heavy it was, Kay? What do you mean tricky to read? That's clear as day, Edgeworth. It's 30 pounds.
Sure it was. 30 pounds.
Edgeworth, can you not read?
What does anyone need such a heavy weight for anyway?
Doesn't seem relevant to the circus show at any rate. Easy, 30. It's like Dora the Explorer. How heavy is this? I got you, Edgeworth. It's 30. That's right, 30. Oh God, I would hate Edgeworth to be in like a Dora the Explorer-esque show. That'd be a nightmare because he would just glare at the TV screen. Just like, answer the question, small child. Do it. There's a sturdy-looking hemp rope lying on the ground.
Kinda reminds me of the ropes we used for playing tug-of-war in school.
The answer is no, Kay.
What? I didn't even say anything! Yet?
I see it also has a metal stake attached at one end.
Yeah, it looks like something you'd use to put up a tent.
But there was no tent, was there? In which case, what was it used for? What are a bunch of pulleys doing here? They don't seem to be well pulleys for lifting buckets. Weird. And the button... Yeah, okay. It looks like this was designed for raising and lowering a bucket. No sign of the bucket, though. Cool. I guess look at this. The well was behind the stage, which means there aren't many people who could have thrown Knight's body down in during the show. I don't know if it was behind. I'd say it's more stage left, but whatever. There aren't many people. Oh, I read that. This is looking worse and worse for Mr. Saint.
So, what do you think of all this stuff around the well was used for? Can't see any of the animals needing them for their part in the performance.
Indeed. Nothing immediately strikes me as a likely purpose. I'll have to ask Miss Barry later. Let's see. Folding chairs. I don't think I really need to look at those. Oh, is Astique not here anymore? And neither is Allie? Can I... Right? Unless you have authority over the prison. Maybe I can connect these. I doubt it, but... Yeah, I didn't think so. That was a waste of my time. That's okay. No, it's fine, Edgeworth. Sometimes they're dumb. Hello. What was the name of our trunk-happy friend again? Oh, it's not Steek. That's right. That's the fucking fan games version. Alright, see you later, Patu.
Azia the Asian elephant.
Of course. How could I forget? Not exactly inspired, though, is it? Was Miss Barry having an off day when she came up with it?
Oh my gosh, Mr. Edgeworth, not for the poor elephant herself.
That's not real, Kay. You made that with your projection. I suspect that's about all there is to find for now. Detective Gumshoe should be here soon, too. Kay, you can power down Mr. Thief now.
Sure thing. Prepare to return to normality. We could have learned this yesterday when we were looking around the yard before, but we needed to pad the case.
Sorry, sir. I came as quick as I could. Missile's already ready to kill Regina. No! She's just a baby. I mean, not really, but still.
Ow. Speak of the devil.
Ah, detective. That was indeed impressively quick. You know me, sir. Never did like to keep you waiting. I went through every red light, and I didn't learn anything from Justice for All at all.
Thanks for coming all this way too, Regina.
No problem. This seemed way more fun than rehearsals, so I ditched them for the day. I mean, that means no one's working with the animals at all today, because the two people, one's in jail and one is now here. They're both at jail. It's very much appreciated. All right, detective, let's get started with Missile. Yes, sir. Hey, Missile, over here, boy. What's the matter? Come on, boy. Come on. What are you already so angry about, buddy? What's wrong with him? Looks like he's scared of something, sir. Oh. Alligator! Guess he's not a fan, sir. Well, I doubt he'll be of much help to us like this. Regina, deal with the alligator. Kill it! Any other bright ideas, Miles Areno? I really don't like that one. Miles Areno does not flow like you think it does. Yes, actually. Miss Barry, would you mind lending us a hand?
Ooh, I'd love to. Just tell me what you need. Do you want me to teach Allie some tricks?
I don't doubt she could do it, but nothing quite like that. I typically like an account of what the yard looked like during the show.
I like where this is going. You're thinking of using Little Thief again, am I right?
If you'd be so kind. No, you'll scare Missile. No, don't do it.
Okay, I've plugged in all the data. Firing up the stimulation.
Oh, I thought Regina had to tell you shit before you typed it in, but I guess you just know. Good for you, I guess.
Here you go. This is what the yard was like during the show.
The time at which the body was purported to have been thrown down the well.
Oh, wow. It's so amazing. It's like magic. No magic here. Just sweet, sweet data. Which is why...
Oh, excuse me. The area behind the stage is missing.
Yeah, Regina said she wasn't involved in getting the stage set up. So we don't have any data on what it was like back there.
No data. No simulation, huh? Brutal.
I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all because I let Simeon do everything by himself.
Oh, no. It's all my frilly associate's fault. What do you... Fuck you, Fender. Just because you... Ew, Fender. You gross-ass bitch. You're flirting with her, aren't you? Bitch, that chickadee is like 18. Fuck off, dude. You 36-year-old bastard. Objection, Fender.
Anyway, we've got a fresh simulation now, but we still have the other data too. I can switch back whenever you want the recreation of them taking down the stage.
So we can examine the scene both during and after the show. And switch between the two at will. Okay, that's kind of nifty. Being able to swap back and forth. Hello, Missile. You doing okay, buddy? Aww. No, he's not. It's as bad as it looks, sir. Poor little guy's scared out of his skin. I'd hoped to have him track that scent again. Well, that clearly isn't in the cards now. Poor puppy. Interesting. The basket was empty in the other recreation.
Oh Yeah, but it was definitely empty in the photo I took, too. Oops, sorry. I made a mistake when I was filling you in earlier.
Oh?
That basket's for holding Isaiah's food, but on the morning of the show, all the apples that were in it had vanished. Poof. I totally forgot to mention it. Sorry.
Disappearing apples. I should make a note of this.
A story of forbidden love between a tiger and an elephant. Wish I could have seen it. Wish I could have seen Simeon up there on that stage, too.
Oh, he was wonderful. And the way he flew off that stage. Ah, yes, that scene. Yeah, the whole part of the story is Simeon was playing the villain and Isaiah would, like, yeet him off the stage at the end. That was the hero conquering the villain. Roughly how long would you say Mr. Saint was off stage for, Miss Berry?
Let's see. I guess it would be around 15 minutes.
Just as Judge Gavelle said. Is it pretty hairy, health and safety-wise, having an elephant fling a guy off the stage?
Not at all. Isaiah's very gentle. Even when she throws people 20 feet.
I'm not sure it changes much if she flings him gently or roughly.
Too gentle, in fact. When we first rehearsed it, she barely nudged him. But by the end, he was flying off that stage. Not because of Isaiah, though. Simeon had figured out some kind of trick, apparently. Isn't that amazing?
Trick? Do you have any idea what kind of trick?
Who, me? Oh no, it was Simeon's big thing. I wouldn't know where to start.
It would appear that we're missing some data from this point in time.
Yep, that's about the size of it. You gotta go steal us some data.
I don't steal data, Kay. I use logic and deduction to get what I need.
I'm more of an act first, think later gal.
Please don't add to my workload with your recklessness. I would hate to have to order your arrest. Just do it, Edgeworth. Do it, you coward.
So do you come to visit the prison often, Regina? I sure do. I have so many little friends here. It's wonderful. And they're all such sweeties. The old faces and the new. I made a new friend only yesterday. Allie is just the cutest.
Cute. That full-grown alligator lurking in the depths of the pond.
Are you sure about that? Can't help worrying you would just walk up and then chomp, you know?
Oh, don't be silly. She'd never do anything like that.
Especially since she's not doing great. I heard she hasn't been herself since yesterday. I'm so worried about her. You guys are worried too, right? Right? Yeah, totally. Super worried, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. Super. Don't rope me into this. I didn't know Regina would kill. But, like, that was the voice of a woman who would kill. Not Missile. I wanted to talk to Gumshoe. Don't say a word, sir. I know just what you're looking for. It's written all over your face. It is? Missile may be temporarily out of action, but my fishing rod is good to go whenever you need it. Oh. And if you want to give the metal detector a shot, I have that too. I've never seen him so excited. I'll be sure to let you know if I need either of them, Detective. How's it going? Great thief's secret weapon. Color me intrigued, Miles Areno. Not exactly by the book stuff, though, yeah? Using great thief doodads in an official investigation. I mean, I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's below board. Would it be? Because it's built on nothing but fact. And testimony. It's just kind of like using a, Uh-oh, what's that? Whoa, enough with the death stares, Chief. I'm cool, okay? I can keep a secret. Anything for the truth. Am I right? It's possible that vital evidence has already been destroyed. Without Kay's reproduction of the scene, we have no hope of finding it. Hey, relax. Like I said, I'll just zip it and nod politely while you cats do your thing. Thank you. That would be very helpful. In fact, never open your mouth again. This pond is home to Warden Lagarde's beloved alligator.
And look! Those bones must be from her latest meal.
I somewhat doubt an alligator would pick a carcass clean like that.
You think? I got the feeling she was rather ladylike in her own way, actually.
If you say so.
Well, I do. I kind of have a sixth sense for these things.
An interesting talent, though not what I'm particularly envious of. I think... No, I didn't mean that. Swap it, Kay. Oh, I wish you wouldn't teleport me right here. Move, Kay. It's the pen that held Isaiah the Asian elephant. Now empty, as the lady herself is on stage.
Wonder how they got her in here in the first place.
What do you mean?
Well, the entire entrance to the yard is people-sized. And there's like a gazillion megawatts pumping through that fence. Kinda risky, no?
Not if one turned off the electricity.
Yeah, but then all the prisoners would escape.
Through an entrance blocked by an elephant. I think not.
This is a real puzzler, all right? I need to give it some more thought.
He seems to be enjoying the challenge. I'll leave her to it. I don't think there's anything else, so I must be able to logic some stuff. Oh, I think I see. I hope it lets me do this. Yay! I'm a genius. The trick Mr. Saint performed for his big scene. Could it have been something to do with all the items we found by the well? Okay, I'd like to have another look at the equipment around the well from yesterday. Can you have Mr. Thief bring up the recreation from when we were tearing down the stage?
You got it!
Taking another look at all these items. Could they not have been used for this trick of Mr. Saint's?
Sounds plausible enough. Hey, I could maybe add it to the simulation.
Good idea. Please go ahead and go and ask Mr. Saint for the details.
Roger that. I'll be right back.
Good thing we're next to the detention center.
Itchy back. I'm back, and he told me exactly how he did it.
Excellent. Well, how does it work?
He said he used the pulley at the top of the well to suspend a heavy weight from a rope, and lowered that down into the well. The other end of the rope went through 2 or more pulleys, and was tied around his body.
I see. So we used the downward pull of the weight to help him launch himself into the air. But how did he make sure the weight only dropped when he wanted it to?
He used a stake to stop it, that's how.
Miss Barry didn't seem to know anything about the trick or the contraption he built for it. In which case, I suppose it must have been Mr. Saint himself who pulled out the stake.
That's right, and to do that he used a second length of rope. He tied it to the stake, and then when he gave it a sharp tug, the stake was released.
The stake was released and the weight dropped down the well. 30 pounds was all he needed to lift himself? I know he's a scrawny guy, but like... Nah.
It's a great trick. I have to steal it. This one has to go in the Great Thief's repertoire.
It may not be quite that easy. These kind of circus tricks can require years of practice to master. Simply stealing the idea won't be enough.
All right, practice it is then.
Well, before you run away to do so, would you mind updating the simulation?
Oh, right, then we can see how it all worked for ourselves. Okay, I'm switching back to the recreation of the performance. Now to add in the data. Little Thief should be able to reproduce the trick now.
So this is how Mr. Saints performed his trick.
Simeon's full of surprises, huh? I mean, dropping a weight down a well to help him fly off the stage like that? That's genius!
Indeed, but I imagine he would have needed quite a lot of weight. More than him, at the very least. It would have taken some serious pull to lift him into the air like that.
Yeah, probably a ton of practice.
Mr. Saint used the well to construct a contraption that would send him flying off from the stage. It made clever use of 2 ropes. Yeah, we still don't know how this was used, I guess.
It's one heavy weight. Kind of makes you think how much this must all be weighing on Simeon.
Does? I'm not sure I quite see it myself.
Oh, too bad we don't have the real thing here. Otherwise, I'd hang it around your neck like a big old albatross. Then we'll see how you like it.
You'd face some stiff resistance if you tried. I can promise you that. I'd give you a return kick to the shins. This tarp, it's just like the one we saw in the workshop.
This tarp, it's just like the one we saw in the workshop.
Yes, but why is it here?
But why is it here?
I do not like this.
Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You've gone kind of blank.
And I intend to stay blank until you stop stealing my thoughts! Pulley and a rope. I suppose the two do tend to go together.
They sure do. Like a great thief and her treasure. Can't have one without the other.
Sorry, but the proper pairing in this case is a great thief and a set of handcuffs. You tell her, Edgeworth. Oh, we don't get to, like, actually recreate the trick? Okay. I don't think this is it, but, like, that's, like, what's kind of leading it. Okay.
Wait, doesn't this seem odd to you?
No? You haven't noticed, Detective? There's something strange about the weight we found. I mean, I guess it's this. The one weight on its own wouldn't be heavy enough. A single 30-pound weight couldn't have lifted Mr. Saint off the ground. Oh, yeah! You just been standing there for a while, huh, honey? Luke has finished up his Thamu costume and just kind of started standing next to me, like, waiting for me to react. And now he's walking away. Goodbye, Thamu. Go haunt the innocents. In which case, could there perhaps be some weights missing? Sounds like a job for my 7 secret weapons, sir! Should the need use of them arise, I suppose I should speak with him then. It does. Because Regina said something weird. Allie's not been acting right. I wonder if Allie ate something. Oh, can I not get it yet? Okay. Well, they're metal, so like... I wish it would just, instead of logicking that, we could just go ask Gumshoe after we figured out there's insufficient weight. That was weird. Detective, I have need of one of your secret weapons. Roger that! No, not that one! The metal detector, if you would be so kind. Aw, jeez, I'm never gonna use my fishing rod. Go hunt Gordy with it then, you silly man. So before we get started, let me tutorialize you. I'm not gonna read this because it's just tutorial. The closer you get, the more strongly it will react. It starts going wild like this. Okay. Oh, the fence! Oh, no! Anyway, you tell me where you want me to look, sir, and I'll get right on it. Yay, I get to play as Gumshoe! Whee! Are you metal, sir? I want Edgeworth to be the metal. That'd be funny. Are you metal? Kind of. Are you metal? Are you metal? I found something! There's something here, sir! I don't see anything metallic. What did the detective pick up? Guess it must have picked up some iron sand. Iron sand? As in sand you can pick up with a magnet. That's the stuff! You can find it on the beach sometimes. I just got the thing we need right here. Introducing secret weapon number 6 or 7. Are you making this up as you go along? A seemingly ordinary magnet that I found at the hardware store. Sorry, just saying Gumshoe kneeling before Edgeworth. Oh my god. My brain needs to... I need someone to come scrub my brain. I'm too dirty of a person. Jesus. Watch this. I just bring it close to the ground and... ta-da! It's picking up the iron. Woohoo! Come on, little guys. Come to Papa. Must be nice to be so easily entertained. Regardless, the investigation must continue. Sir, I'm picking up something over here. Let's take a little look-see, huh? Found these little guys in the grass. They're the same as the weight we found by the well. They must be from Mr. Saint's trick. Did someone hide these here on purpose? I count 4 altogether, sir. Okay, I have to do some math. So that should be 150 pounds. That's enough. I assume, unless if he's on the light side. Because, like, I don't know how much people are. No, it's like my dream weight is 150.
They would be more than heavy enough to send him flying.
So somebody had several of the same weight as the one by the well. But why? And why over here? Yes! Nice work, me! Good job, Gumshoe!
Alligator!
That thing nearly gave me a heart attack. Huh? What's the matter, detective? It's the metal detector, sir. It's, reacting to the alligator.
What? How?
You sure it's not responding to the waves we just found? Oh, that was Edgeworth, not Fender. No, sir. I'm sure this is something different, and I'm sure it's coming from the alligator. Oh, goodbye. And she's gone. Why are you laughing, Kay?
Ha! We scared that big snapper good.
I don't think that's it, Kay.
Then what is it?
Allie hasn't been herself lately. That's the name. Allie, the warden's favorite pet. Besides a ferret, I guess. She wouldn't even look at the food Warden Lagarde brought her yesterday. She was acting as if, I don't know, as if maybe she'd eaten something that didn't agree with her. Maybe the metal detector was responding to whatever she ate, sir.
Oh no! What if she ate one of the weights?
I highly doubt that even an alligator could swallow a 30-pound lump of iron. So what did the metal detector actually pick up? And why would someone hide those weights? Perhaps I missed something when I looked at the equipment by the well. Kay, could you recreate the scene again?
Coming right up!
And actually, really quick, gang, I need to go use the restroom. I will be right back. I have returned. Thank you guys for waiting. When nature calls, nature calls. All right, let's go looking at this, like Edgeworth said. Don't exactly know what he wanted me to look at. Oh yeah, he wanted me to do something, I guess. Oh gosh, I forgot to lower that volume. Jeez Louise. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just double check. Okay. That's what they meant. We are missing a rope. Okay. Crazy. Think about the two recreations, the one during the performance and the one we're looking at right now. Mike, do not fight me, I swear to God. There's a major difference between the two. Namely, that one of the ropes is missing.
Oh yeah!
Mr. Saint's trick wouldn't work with only the items we see before us.
So what happened?
Where did the missing rope go? I think one of the pieces of evidence we've collected might tell us... Ooh, just smack my microphone. Might tell us exactly that.
Really?
What shows us where the missing rope went?
Take that!
This rope was found beside Knight's body.
Wait, you mean...
Yes, it must have been the other rope used in Mr. Saint's trick.
So you're saying...
Yes, that this rope did indeed have a weight attached to it. But it wasn't any of the iron weights we found. Those were hidden in the bushes and replaced with something else.
What was it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, I'm dying here!
God, Kay, you're stupid. Think about what the rope we found in the workshop was related to. Do that and you'll soon figure out the answer. The weight dropped down the well in place of the iron weights was...
Take that!
Can only have been Knight's body that was dropped down the well.
What? Mr. Knight's body was the weight?
Yes, somebody first swapped out the weights used from Mr. Saint's trick. Then Mr. Saint used the contraption to make his exit from the stage. When he let the rope around his body loose, both the rope and Knight's body fell to the bottom of the well. That rope was never used to restrain Knight. It was used to suspend his body halfway down the well. From this, we can easily see why most of the weights were hidden. That's how Cascada didn't run into the body. It was hanging. I thought so. Or, I mean, like, I didn't think it was hanging. I thought it was just stuck up there for some reason.
So that no one would realize they'd been replaced with the body!
Precisely. You can then further deduce that they were hidden by the killer. Whoa there, gang. Wasn't poor old Bronco stabbed in the neck? Wouldn't there be blood everywhere, including down the well? Oh, the killer thought of that, which is why they used this.
Take that!
And it was dirty, too. Like, dusty dirty. Or muddy, I think. This top was found with the body. I think it's likely that Knight's corpse was wrapped in it. Ooh, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. It's all coming together now. Love it.
But all we're doing is proving that the body did go down the well, which means we're helping to prove that Simeon was the killer.
No, not quite.
But what about what Judge Gavelle said yesterday?
Ah, but if Mr. Saint truly is the killer, why would he need to go to such lengths to commit his crime? Yeah, Arkham's razor, damn it!
That's true.
Knight's body fell down the well when Mr. Saint used his contraption during the show. Therefore, it reveals nothing about where the real killer actually was or what they were doing at the time. It's only designed to throw suspicion onto those who were not at the show.
Yeah, I guess we did suspect Mr. Canis right away, huh?
That was the killer's goal, to make us think that the crime took place during the show. In other words, they used the well contraption to construct an alibi. Miss Barry, when exactly did Mr. Saint put his contraption together?
It would have been the day before the show. The night before, actually. Yes, we started getting ready for the show at around 9 p.m. And I think we finished at around midnight.
In which case, the killer must have switched the weights out for the body after that point. Did Canis know about this contraption? Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to do much with it. And I highly doubt that he taught his dog to suspend bodies halfway down wells. Which means Canis isn't the killer. Good deducing there, Edgy Poo. I don't know what else it wants me to deduce. Hold on. Oop. Oop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Are we just saying she ate it? Because I feel like Regina would have said that. The apples in the basket were likely eaten by Isaiah. Sure, I guess. Really? That's strange. I made sure to put the cart where her trunk couldn't reach them. Are you sure about that? Oh, yes. It was still full of apples the night before the show. And we must consider the possibility that the cart was moved to somewhere within Isaiah's reach. A large basket full of apples couldn't have been moved by the wind, which likely means somebody moved it for a reason. I don't know why they go to the trouble of feeding Isaiah when they could just dump it, but sure. Yes, that seems to be the most probable timeline. Let's update the recreation, Kay?
Will do. I'll add that into the simulation of the performance then. Let me just change back to that recreation first. Updating based on what Regina told us now.
Why didn't you update that sooner when she originally told us? But sure.
There, all done.
Little wonder it smelled of animals. It was being used for the elephant.
To hold Isaiah's apples, right?
Yup, it was full of them the day before the show. So they vanished overnight.
Ooh, did you figure something out, Mr. Edgeworth?
Quite possibly. That doesn't make sense that those go to combine together, but whatever. The basket was moved the night before the circus performance, and we've deduced that the weights were switched out for the body at around the same time.
Hard to chalk that up to coincidence, huh?
And the next question we should be asking is, why was the cart moved? I think I can hazard a guess. The cart would have been blocking that door, which could only mean
that somebody needed to open it! Now let's see what's... Great. It's locked. Let me ask a guard for help. Hey, Mr. Guard!
I'm surprised you didn't just try to pick the lock, Kay. Yes, miss, what can I do for you? My husband dropped something upstairs. I'm gonna yell for him. You okay? He is not responding, but I hear his video still going. I hear him moving. We are fine. He is fine. That was fast. God, where's the key for this door? Oh, the warden keeps hold of that. I'll go ask for it. Warden Lagarde is the only one with a key. Criminal found. We must arrest. Meaning, if somebody did open the door, they would have to get it from her somehow.
Thanks for the help!
Man, I can never read these stupid things. Look at all these breakers. They must control the electricity for the whole prison.
So we're thinking somebody got in here the night before the show, right? But why? What were they trying to do?
Well, I doubt they came here by mistake, thinking it was a break room. They must have come to tamper with the switches.
Did they turn off the power to something?
Oh, good job, localization team. You need a bit more test readers. I'm available to be hired. I'm a stickler for that shit. Get people who read their games out loud. We notice grammatical mistakes much easier. Come to think of it, wasn't there something that lost power? What might have lost power had a breaker been flipped? The door sensors is 1. These is 2. But what's important to us? What is important out here? You know what? Let me just look that up, because what the fuck? Okay. That's dumb, because my brain is like, why would it be the footage? But I guess it would be the camera. That fuck you, game. There was a 3-hour gap in the security camera footage.
Oh yeah, there was!
There was? I don't remember it saying that, actually. I should have read that clear. Oh yeah, there was the 3-hour gap. That's right. I forgot we had discovered that.
So somebody flipped the breaker it was connected to.
Seems very likely.
Do you think it was the killer?
It's true that shutting off the cameras would have made things easier for them.
It would!
Which means the killer would have to be someone who had access to the breakers. It seems only one person has the key. It couldn't be, could it? Yeah, nope, I think we got her. Alright, little thief, your work here is...
Oh, alright, little thief, your work here is done.
Edgeworth just calmly out. He's just like, good job, little one. Pats it on the head. I love you. Thank you, Mr. Thief. Oh, good. My two favorite characters.
First on the scene, the early bird wins the worm.
Sir, you saw us as you entered. What do you mean, first on the scene? Wiener. Good morning, Mr. Winner.
What? You? How'd you get here before me?
Good morning, Mr. Edgeworth. I see you've made an early start. And I see you've made a late one, Judge Cavell. This is not my only case. I am a very busy woman. I am a judge, even though I don't act like it. Not all of us enjoy the freedom of a prosecutor relieved of his only current responsibility. You're a bitch. Oh, I do apologize. I meant, of course, an associate attorney.
Associate. More like asinine.
Do you want to die, Eustace? Do you want to fucking die, you piece of shit? I'll kill you. I'm not afraid to. I'll go to jail. We'll see about that. Eustace, let us begin the investigation of the yard.
Okay, I'll go get some officers to help.
Hold it!
You don't need to. I took care of all of it because you're stupid. That won't be necessary.
Why not?
We've already finished investigating the yard and won quite the prize in the process.
Won? But I'm supposed to be the winner.
Oh my god. You are a spoiled brat. Did you buy your friends too, so you could always be the winner? God, I hate you. Your Honor, I'd like to revisit your theory from yesterday.
Oh, these Reese's Pieces are tiny.
Oh, no, they're not. In order to thoroughly disprove it, I would caution you to choose your words carefully, Mr. Edgeworth. I am sure you remember, your badge is in my hands. My badge is actually in my hands. I'm holding it in my pocket. It's in neither of our hands. It's in my pocket. How could I forget? You've told me several dozen times already. Perhaps you'd care to try a different threat? Fuck you, Jesus. You have been warned repeatedly, yes. And each time my words seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Allow me to make this crystal clear. The committee cannot and will not tolerate insubordination. You tolerated Von Karma for fucking 40 years, you bastards. The fate of my badge and the whims of the committee are of no concern to me now. The only thing that concerns me is proving Simeon Saint's innocence. Interesting. And spoken like a true defense attorney. In that case, I shall be equally uncompromising. In the name of the goddess of justice, I will strike down your case without mercy. And when I am done, your career as a prosecutor will be over as well. I hope you do not come to regret this. My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. I think that's supposed to be relayed. I think. Because I don't know of related being used to convey. I love that you're sitting right over there, but you're still typing in chat. You just, oh, you know, you need to rest your voice, huh? Yeah, your lungs have been bothering you. You rest your voice, love. Mr. Coserato did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped down the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. That's still your assertion, and you can prove it, of course. You didn't let me investigate. Of course she can! Who do you think you're up against? What Eustace means to say is that we received the final autopsy report just ahead of your arrival. You guys do the updated autopsy report too? Fuck you. I mean, good, Edgeworth needs to know how it feels, but fuck. Wait, did he learn how it feels back in Trials and Tribulations? I don't think he did. She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after baby Winner. Yes, she is. The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. It seems the wound is 4 inches deep. I just noticed the fucking birds of paradise up there. Hi, guys! How are you? Simeon Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. That was plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well. Not really, but sure. Judge Cavell hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honor. You seem very confident of that. But do you have any evidence to prove it? Yes, I think I just might. Okay, this is a weird comment in my brain, but her boobs are weirdly shaped. Like, something seems wrong with them, and I don't know what. Sorry, Your Honor, but there's something else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged up to create a certain unique contraption. A contraption? Go on. You will recall that Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant. I do, just before he was to be absent for some time. He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he tied around himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trick.
Objection!
Wait, wouldn't that send him flying as soon as he set foot on the stage?
Hold it!
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With the second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We have found evidence to suggest that the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us that the murder, not number, I can read, I promise, took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
Objection!
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the number one? Most likely person to have used it to dispose of a body,
Go back to school and become a conductor, dude. That's obviously what you want to be. Get out of the prosecutorial job.
Even you must see how this looks.
Objection!
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Cavell theorized, without these extra steps. Miss Barry,
Yes?
does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works?
Well, let's see. We had to get the prison's approval on what we were going to perform. So I don't think Simeon is the only one who knows.
And there you have it.
Overruled!
Don't know. What? Fuck you. Interesting. You have certainly been diligent in your investigation. And yet, I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right? What? Bitch, not everyone's perfect. Fuck you and your goddess of justice. Your wife left you years ago, girl. Just come to terms with it. Is what I am doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so? How can you not grasp even that? How can you not see that you are doing wrong at this very moment? You are a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. Bitch, you gave me no other choice. This flies in the face of common sense. It's also not the first time Edgeworth's done this. You are breaking every rule in the book. I think only of what is right and just, and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I have chosen, and whether you can comprehend that choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can that I can bring to bear. Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her will that we must fight, then I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, for there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. I'd love to hear this, and it better not be bullshit. The whisper over there. Luke just whispering, it's gonna be more bullshit. Are you steaming over there? You just give me a nod of the head. You are. Oh, yay, my rage has somewhere to go. Yeah, I know, it is. Here, have my rage. Here you go. It's all yours. I can calm down now. Jesus, there's some grotesque motions happening over there. If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, then Mr. Knight must have first been brought here to the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simeon Saint, and thus he remains the only plausible suspect. No, there's one other person I'm going to accuse here in a second, I hope. Quoting Inigo Montoya over there. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. But why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells?
Yeah, it is pretty sus.
Kay, shut the fuck up. But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible that he took the cage with him out of absent-mindedness and nothing else. It may be plausible, but it is no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape. I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. You're certain nobody else had the opportunity. Need I remind you that we are in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary would have been spotted. But Mr. Saint was under the same scrutiny, was he not? The warden had granted the members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of that troupe, under the supervision of Miss Barry, he is the only person who is free to wander where he will. Seems you've forgotten something, Your Honor. Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, she better learn. Very well, then, recall this fact, if you will. You claim that Mr. Saint is the only person who is free to walk around the prison. But there was a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison, a time when it would have been impossible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored. Oh, oh, that's interesting. I could press and then present. That's fascinating. I meant to present it, but... Mr. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity. Which opportunity are we talking about again? I hate you so much, just so you know. I don't understand. Franziska became a prosecutor at 13 and it made complete sense. She's logical beyond all reason and amazing, and I love her. She's my dear sister. You passed the bar at 18. And you're an idiot. Japanifornia needs to work on its bar exam. Germany, maybe we should talk to Germany about theirs. We previously established that the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce that there must have been a power outage lasting for that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison undetected. do you mean to say that our killer intentionally created this 3-hour Yeah, why wouldn't they? I will repeat for Luke. His poor voice is dead. The fact that you haven't considered that means that you're bad at your job. That it was no simple camera malfunction. Is that even possible? It was completely possible to create the 3-hour gap using this. Ooh, there you go, you dumb bitch. Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned that the door to the power room may have been opened at around the time of the murder.
What?
I love that sprite. Thank you for making such a visceral sprite. My guys, this is great. Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. You're talking about Eustace, right? Right, Cavell?
Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing!
Then how does he explain the lock on the power room door? Oh yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. And the warden's the only one with the key. Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. So I very much doubt that anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily. Luke, you underestimate my power. No, but one person could have. I beg your pardon? That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. And what's more, their position here is such that nobody would dare question them. What? There's no one like that! The breaker to the electric fence is in there. They would be questioned in an instant. There's only one person who meets these criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was... where are you, madame? No, it was Regine! Oh, you're only 17? It's only been a year? Damn, girl. Oh, you're still only 17. I thought you guys were 18. That makes you creepier, Fender, you fucking disgusting man. Anyways, it was her. Fifi. The real culprit is... Oh, Missile? Good boy, Missile. Bark away. Warden Lagarde. So you're just announcing her, yes? You're not accusing her, right? Oh, just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woo? He is. It is Missile. Missile's the cutest. He's not just a pretty face. Missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. Seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed. And it's coming from you. Do you wear, like, an intense amount of perfume? Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume. Oh, do you bake? Do you bake? Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death. Jesus, Edgeworth! You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. But if I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling moi the killer. That is precisely what I'm calling you. What? Warden Lagarde is the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, do you realize what you're saying? Oh, what such a naughty boy. How could he suspect me? I'm the one in charge around here. Ew. I know some people do kiss their like their pets on the lips, but still, It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? I don't know, that one looked like it did. And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous. Sadly, it is not, although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warden Lagarde is the killer. The sweet scent? Is that what it is? Okay.
Take that.
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser. The police dog? We had him track a sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body back when it was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, and it's coming from you. Oh, darling, you're priceless. Really, you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do put him in his place. Verity? Seems Judge Gavel may have reached a similar conclusion to myself. You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth? I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on the body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might be able to brush it off as coincidence, however. Indeed, then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself. We should. And when we have, this case will finally be at an end. Ah! You're all being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing? 'Cause you like animals better than people, maybe? I don't fucking know. Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in his cell, so by your logic, I would have had to have killed him there. But how am I supposed to have moved the body? Especially as I never went into the prison. I was too busy with work, you see. I was cooped up in my office until right before the show began. You did it all nighter? Damn. Check if you like. You won't find a record anywhere of my having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories your little scamps have cooked up. Notice I used harebrained specifically. I'm an animal lover, you see. But I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer. Give me a break. Missile doesn't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and just come clean. Oh dear, I'm afraid you are the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went into the prison. If you think I'm lying, go check the records. She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being big silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it. Luke starts flipping off the game. Oh, yay, my rage can dissipate. It's good. My blood no longer boils. And now I think Luke's is. Is your blood boiling? Yeah, okay. So, oh, no, your lungs just are boiling. That's fair. I do love her boa, though. That thing is so cute.
Hold it.
Can't tell if it's supposed to be a ferret or a fox or what. Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. But what if you took another route? Oh, come now, sweetie. Surely you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered. Why, until yesterday I had no idea it even existed. No, you had another way in. I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel. The route you took went through this location. Yeah, there's her office, so she probably just went through here, because it's all connected. There's no there's a 3-hour gap. Don't quote the musical. Through the fence? Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel. A gold star for creativity, darling. And how would I have gotten through the fence? The extremely high fence, topped with razor wire, with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. I don't know, people can survive that. Von Karma taught me that. Yeah, how's she supposed to have gotten through that, huh? The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room. And only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it. Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde was on the detention center side. How would she even have reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, Clever Puss, you've dug yourself a real hole now. If there is no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea that she could have shut off the fence by using the breaker is out of the question. But there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool and you've lost everything. But if I don't find a solution, she might wriggle out of this. Hey, I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. Don't know why you did quotes with those, but whatever. I don't think you know how to use those. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone. Mr. Edgeworth, if you... The fuck? You aren't doing yourself any favors by obstructing justice with your silence. That was a reflexive objection. But now that I've yelled it, if I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me. Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence? Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enabled her to shut off the breaker was an accomplice. She couldn't have done it alone. But what if she wasn't alone? Ooh, now we're talking. Way to flex the old gray matter, kiddo. I am like only maybe 9 years younger than you. Can you not call me kiddo? I believe that Warden Lagarde had an accomplice. Enough. You disappoint me, Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth had said nothing wrong. I can read. The inmates of this prison are all issued with security bracelets.
The ones that raise the alarm if people go where they're not supposed to. Oh!
I see that you have realized your error. And we are, of course, within the prison grounds, where not only the bracelets are worn, but even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing. And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerato's escape. The only ones who are free to roam are the animals, and they most certainly could not have operated the breaker. No, so our accomplice must be human. Then who did it, given that it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard? I wouldn't be so quick to rule out either, Your Honor. The fact is, there is one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted, and I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was.
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets. Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner. What do you mean? And who is this prisoner? Frank Sawit, Warden Lagarde's favorite inmate. Her face! It's strange, isn't it, Warden? That he was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely around the prison all the while. That is pretty funky, and I don't mean in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although you are in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. But Hidhar Canis, for example. Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation. In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawit himself? I'm confident he will confirm for us that he and Warden Lagarde were accomplices in this crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route into the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall that there were two big obstacles in her path. First, the security camera outside Knight's cell. Second, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop, by having Mr. Sawit shut off the corresponding breakers. Well, his prison sentence has been increased. Or will it? Yeah, no, he still committed a crime, even though Warden was the one who, orchestrated it, right? All right, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun. And do you still deny it, Warden Lagarde? No, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden, tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey. I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it.
No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! You got her!
Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be wriggling out of this now. As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, sweetums, no, we didn't. What? Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Verity, dear, I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She is all-merciful. You have but to confess, and you shall be saved. God, I hate you. Oh, gosh, all right. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said.
Who's he?
Bodhidhar McCannis, that awful assassin. Canis? How long has it been since that awful man came here to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. Jesus! The moment we were alone, he said this to me. You should know that I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution. Oh, I just realized her hat is really cute. Like, it's got the gate with a key on it. That's cute. Others? Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who will do anything I ask of them. Of course he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. Leave your poor animal alone, you're hurting it. And then he said one last thing. I would recommend that you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you, or your precious family. I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for. Everything? Wait, is that how he became the fixer? Yes, darling. I obeyed his every command and smuggled in for him all that he wanted. Eventually, I brought dear sweet Frankie into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him too. So you were smuggling in contraband. How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. That allowed me to go from my office into the yard without being seen by the cameras. Then I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prison side and went back through the fence. Each one of them spritzed with a little of my perfume. So you were wearing perfume, you liar. So that's what the sweet smell was. Yes, it was a signal for Canis's dog. When he picked up the scent, he would fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. So you're admitting you spritzed the body then? You, just admitted it, basically. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course. Can't have been easy keeping him from finding out. We're all very much creatures of habit here at the prison, darling. Everything runs to a schedule. Meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. And that adorable little bear of his freezes with fright at the sight of Canis's dog, poor thing. So there was no risk of him raising the alarm either. She has oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side... Oh, excuse me. Canis couldn't fail. Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on, and our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. You have shared a great deal, Warden. The goddess of justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool, I know I have. I'm supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. And so, Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. But there was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out into the yard. So that's the secret behind the fixer system. And why she was. My poor husband's dying upstairs. That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over. Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hench people of his. That is a terrifying profile, Jesus. Or portrait, I guess. Oh my god. Madam. Madam, are you alright? I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move. Intercepted every letter he wrote. His letters. Then I suppose she must have known about his correspondence chess games, too. But no matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's... Oh, you can't just can't comprehend it! As you have just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The words of Lord and Lagarde's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. No, it hasn't! Shut up! This isn't a plea deal! Surely there is no need to hound her any longer. Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though? Or is there more to uncover? Yeah, no, there's fucking more. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but this conversation isn't over yet. And I think the Goddess of Justice would agree. So you mean to make her suffer even more than she already has? Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself that she knew of and even facilitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used that same route to move Knight's body. And where is your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? The perfume smell, you bitch! Isn't the fact that the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde used to signal a delivery? What do you make of that? Well, that's because I've done it so many times by now that the whole well probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. Bullshit. No. No. That does match the statement that Mr. Carceredo provided. I mean, yeah, okay, he did say it smelled sweet, but still bullshit. Because I think then the dog is trained to find the fresher scent, right? His words would seem to suggest that the smell had permeated the well. You have been rendered speechless, I see. Then I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court.
No, what do we do, Mr. Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go?
Finally! So we're actually done?
You've done nothing, you little twerp. Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. I've done all the work. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Who holded it? Who? Who was that? Oh, thanks, Fender. Come on, Judge G. Things were just getting good. Fender? Are you objecting to my adjourning this session? No. Would have shouted objection if I'd wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Fender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone? Yes, please. Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of court? Madam, we are not in court. Fuck off. No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make is all. As Simeon Saint's lawyer, that is. Ah, yes. I had forgotten that you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender. How could you? You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything this whole time.
Right you are, which is why I figured it's time to put in some work. Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life. Jesus! he has a running business. And if it's Edgeworth and Co., then it's like, that's been running for at least, so if it was 15 years, 3 years ago, so 18 years. He's been running that thing for 18 years and it's running fine. He does work. Now let's just say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness? Now? Amusing, but what is there left to ask? I've got a feeling in my funny bone that Fief's here has something more to tell us about the killer. Do I? Yes, indeed. See, as a major player on Team Simeon, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, do you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans. We're all ears.
Mr. Edgeworth? What's he doing?
He's trying to coax Warden Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why would she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? It's because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way!
If he was convinced of committing murder here, that would have been grounds for a transfer to another prison. Most likely, a more secure facility.
And where he'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No. Say can't not be the killer. That's not fair. I was all ready to prosecute him.
I know, right? Maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah?
Nice. Now Mr. Winter has to go along with it too.
Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How could I refuse the silver-tongued devil? Eddykins, you have such a way with words! Just doing my job! Fief, please don't hug me. You're too old for me. Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? I'm simply dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you'll let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned. Can't you just say in session? I don't know.
I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender.
Me neither. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I could do. Kid's not wrong. I've been leaning on you hard. And besides, the defense never rests. Am I right? Simeon's depending on us. Sadly, I think I just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there. And we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles. That's a better one. That's a good one, Fender. I like Miles McSmiles because it's ironic. Show him that never rest spirit. I shall. Fabulous. Then let's get started. I really don't think anyone could have done it, but that dreadful man, Canis. There's no telling what went on between him and the victim. Perhaps he simply took a disliking to him. He's certainly the type. But whatever the sordid details, it was him. He stabbed that poor man to death. And then he had his dog dispose of the body. That simply has to be what happened. The victim, Mr. Knight, yes? I did him the most terrible disservice. Yes, you killed him. I suppose you could put it that way. If I weren't such a sorry excuse for a warden, this never would have happened. And that's why I have to clean up this terrible mess. Warden Lagarde, as ever, your honesty is truly to your credit. I am certain Mr. Knight is looking down and weeping tears of gratitude. Fucking shut up, Gavel. You've clearly never met Mr. Knight. He wouldn't cry for shit. He's a bastard.
Hold it!
What more can you tell us about those sordid details? Well, we all know that Canis once did what Canis once did for a living. I doubt the killing part gave him much trouble, especially as the victim was already injured. His neck, I think? Couldn't turn his head to the right, poor dear. That's what they told me when they brought him in, anyway. You must have some sort of report for the warden when new prisoners are admitted. I would assume so, yeah. You seem keen for us to think you didn't know much about Knight. That's because I didn't, sweetie! And the victim was simply a fun target to that monster, nothing more. I expect Canis used the chisel that was hidden in that chess set, don't you? Awful, grisly business. Just imagine, the man probably didn't even have time to cry out. I see. Thank you for your thoughts. You were very helpful. Actually, I'd like to hear about them in a little more detail, if you don't mind. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making me blush. I could chat with you all day. I don't need another grand lady. Actually, how old is she? She's probably not that old. She's like probably, what, 40? Oh, 37. So yeah, like Edgeworth. She's not even that old. It's fine. Oh, don't look so nervous, darling. I'm only teasing. Of course we can talk about them some more. I expect Candace used the chisel that was hidden in that chess set, don't you?
Hold it.
Nope, that's not the one I wanted, fuck. In which chess set would that be, precisely? Why, the one the victim brought in, sweetie. Do try to keep up. The victim was a certified chess fanatic, or so I'm led to believe. But the naughty boy snuck a chisel inside it. Can you imagine? How does she know about the chisel in the chess set? Only a few people were supposed to know about that. After all, we only learned about it thanks to certain deductions we made. So how did she find out? Of course, in the hands of a killer like Canis, even a chisel could serve as a deadly weapon. Would have been easy work for that vile assassin.
Objection.
I feel like this is a weird objection because she says that Judge Gavelle told her everything. Warden Lagarde, you strike me as a being more careful than the image you project suggests. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, please. Call me Fifi. Or Sweetie Pie, if you prefer. I do not. I am gay. However, I think you may have been a little less careful than you realize in this instance. Aren't you just the most adorable little creature? Don't be embarrassed. We're all family here. I don't want to be part of this. If I'm family, then this is incestuous, and I don't want a part of it.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't let her get inside your head.
You said earlier that you didn't know much about Knight. In which case, I find it rather strange that you know about the chisel. Well, of course I do, darling. Do you think we don't check prisoners when they come in? You're not talking your way out of this, Warden. That is entirely irrelevant, and you know it. Didn't Knight bring the chess set into the prison Knight didn't bring the chess set into the prison himself. It was brought by Mr. Saint when he came to visit. Knight wouldn't have had it with him when he arrived. What? I mean, of course that... Well, Mr. Saint came in, You checked him? I find that hard to believe, because if you did, that makes your story all the stranger. If you found the chisel, why did you not confiscate it there and then? What? Judge Gavelle, did you tell anyone about the hidden compartment in the chess set? I did not. If no one leaked our findings, then how exactly did you learn about the chisel, Warden Lagarde? Because it certainly couldn't have been when you checked Knight or Mr. Saint on their arrival. Indeed. Such a thing would imply an intentional oversight if it had been found, yet let through. Precisely. So, Warden Lagarde, and answer truthfully this time. Where and when did you learn about the chess set? If you won't answer, then allow me. I submit... All right, darling. There was no need to rub it in. You got me, all right? I questioned Knight. That was when I learned about the chess set. But please, you have to believe me. I did not kill him. One moment, Warden. This is a significant development. The court requires that you make a detailed statement on the record. Any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? None, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you, darlings. I'll clear up this awful misunderstanding, I promise. Ew. Very well. Go ahead, Warden Lagarde, and please, tell the truth this time. Her lies are starting to wear thin. This is my chance to expose her. I would laugh if, like, her coat fell off in the freak out, and so he does technically expose her. I said I questioned Knight, but it wasn't anything serious, you understand. I make a point of talking to every newcomer to our little home. Knight was no different. We just had a little chat, you might call it. That's implying something sexual, and I don't know if I approve. And after we talked, I had him taken back to his cell straight away. The more she lies, the more thoroughly she seals her fate. So is simply a conversation with a new detainee? That seems entirely above board. Exactly, Verity, darling! I knew you'd understand. Well, I don't. What proof do you have to back up your statement? Jesus. I suppose we shall let me try that again. I suppose we shall see, won't we? Mr. Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination. It's weird having you here, Your Honor. Don't like it. And I miss the old judge. He was stupid, but he was more endearing than you.
Hold it.
If he really had gone back to his cell, he would still be alive today. You really think I murdered the poor man right there in my office, don't you? What would my motive have been, darling? I told you I barely knew him. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. She really does hate Canis. Warden Lagarde, I must insist that you append that statement to your testimony. I'm no angel. I have my grudges against Canis, but Knight had nothing to do with that animal. Where is it? There it is.
Objection.
Judge Gavel, I'd like you to take a look at this. Notes about a game of chess. What is the significance of this, Mr. Edgeworth? It was found in Knight's cell, which is exactly where you said you saw it too, Warden Lagarde. But you didn't just see this game in Knight's cell, did you? You've seen it in Mr. Canis' cell too. What do you mean?
Objection.
Oh, come now. Don't tell me you haven't taken a look at the chessboard in maximum security. I love that she looks ready to, like, strike, but the ferret, who's also, like, hairs stand on end, is just, like, scared out of its wits. It's kind of fun. I imagine you watch his every move like a hawk. Or rather, I imagine you feel that doing so is your only option.
If she wants to find out who his cronies are, right?
Personally, interrogating your own prisoners is highly irregular, to say the least. But as you said, Mr. Canis had threatened you. He put your precious home at risk. That's why you took it upon yourself to question him. You wanted to find out who his dogs were. And so what if I did? You also told us to read his letters. You read his letters. Which means you must have known about one key fact. You knew he was playing correspondence chess. Ah! And then, who should appear but Knight, carrying with him a diagram of a very particular game. We ourselves used that diagram to infer a connection between the two men. And it seems you came to the same conclusion. But in your fear, you took your reasoning one step further. You surmised that Knight was Mr. Canis' henchman, sent to kill you. Which is the real reason she had the chat with the Bronxster. If his boss wouldn't crack, maybe he would. And when you questioned Knight, you made another discovery. For there inside his chess set, you found a hidden chisel. The murder weapon itself. As far as you were concerned, that chisel meant one thing. Canis. Thus, you convinced yourself that Knight was working for Canis, and that is why you killed him. I see you have no more excuses. Judge Gavel, your verdict, please. Much as it grieves me, there would appear to be little room for doubt. I hereby give my verdict. Bronco Knight was murdered In the name of the goddess of justice, who is it this time? Warden? It's a joke! It's all a big, stupid joke. You people just don't get it, do you? I think we've proven that it's you who didn't understand things correctly. Me? Please, darling. I understand it all perfectly well, thank you very much. And I understand that there is a glaring contradiction in your theory, Mr. Edgeworth.
He's got the zoomies.
You're just grasping at straws now. I have no time for this. Your Honor, the verdict. I am curious to hear what the warden has to say. What? You're a dull Verity. I just have one last thing to say. Then Mr. Edgeworth can declare himself the winner.
You rig?
Shut up, wiener!
Fuck you! What is...
Does anybody remember a certain autopsy report? Of course. We received the finalized version only this morning. That's right. And I was listening to what you told us about it. Verity, even if nobody else was. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches? Wait. Riddle me this, Mr. Edgeworth. How does a tiny chisel make a 4-inch wound? No! Forgive me, oh goddess. I came perilously close to making a terrible mistake. Looks like your theory is the one that doesn't hold water, Edgeworth. What now, hmm?
What do we do?
It'll be fine. Mr. Edgeworth always comes through. Right, sir? No. Not today. Looks to me like the Milesatron's out of commission. You're an attorney too, aren't you? Why don't you do something? Turn things on their head with a desperate bluff. Blurt out the first mind-blowing thing that comes to you. Be Phoenix! Look, detective, as much as of a man of action as the next guy, but without evidence, we're up a creek without a paddle here. This might be in the end of the road.
You can't give them now. We have to do something.
I'm certain that Warden Lagarde is the killer. It's the only explanation that fits the facts of the case. But if the chisel wasn't the murder weapon, what other bladed weapon is there here in this facility? It seems we still do not have all the answers, nor the evidence to provide those answers. Alas, we must wait until the trial to see this matter resolved, I'm afraid. Aw, come on, G! You've just given the killer a chance to destroy the evidence. Are you calling the judicial process into question, Mr. Fender? Yes, I have been. All case. Nope, not me. Nuh-uh. I tried, Miles. Any bright ideas? What is the real murder weapon, since it's clearly not the chisel? Confound it! This question throws everything we've deduced out the window! Nothing to add, Mr. Edgeworth. Allow me to remind you that claims not supported by sufficient evidence are subject to the harshest penalties. Luke just in the background. Oh my god. It's hopeless. I can't think of anything. I need more time. Loath as I am to admit it, Hello?
You can't give him now. Remember what Mr. Fender said? Simeon's counting on us. Without us, Remember how upset he was? He was devastated. Nobody's in more pain than him over Mr. Knight's death. I love that we're just relearning Phoenix's whole arc from Game 2. There's no way he did it. If we can't save him, who will? And what's more, he believes in us. He's sitting in that cell waiting for us to bring him some good news. And I, for one, won't walk away until we have some.
Kay. I hate that you're the one with reason right now. My character has been assassinated so harshly. Gee, Miles, your little buddy there is quite the motivational speaker. And she's right, too. When you find yourself on the ropes, think of your client. Picture them pleading with you to help them. Doesn't that make you want to fight back as hard as you can until the very end? Think of your old man, good old Gregory. No matter how bad things looked, he'd always find a way to turn it around and save his client. And you're just like him, right? If there's any way to force a turnabout here, you're the one who'll find it. Simeon's counting on you. Judge Cavell. You seem to have recovered your composure, Mr. Edgeworth. But if you mean to attempt a defense, I would advise you to consider the ramifications. You have repeatedly proposed misguided theories. Same to you! And have made numerous false accusations. Same to you. If you do so again, I will have no choice but to judge you unfit to serve as a prosecutor. And relieve you of your badge for good. She's right. I have put forward a number of theories that prove to be flawed in one way or another. Have I made some sort of fundamental oversight? Wait. She said my theories were misguided. Nothing to say? Then the court will tolerate no more of your time wasting. I hereby... Sir!
Mr. Edgeworth!
Give my verdict. That's it. I've been thinking about it all the wrong way all this time. My theories weren't misguided. I was being misled. The defendant You were about to declare my client guilty without being in an actual court of law, without my client present? Fuck you. I think it's a little soon for that, Your Honor. I'd say it's well past due, darling. Wouldn't you agree, Verity? Mr. Edgeworth, you may proceed. What? I'd like to remind you of a few things. The sightings of his dog, Helmut. The fact that he wasn't at the show. These and other factors made Mr. Canis the obvious suspect at first. This again, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem almost proud of your blunder. But what if the real killer wanted us to suspect Mr. Canis? What if it was all carefully arranged? And what if the same was true of the chisel, a purported murder weapon? Knight had been stabbed multiple times in the same place with a bladed instrument. What if he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon had been removed? Just to leave traces of blood on it for us to find. That was how the killer misled us into thinking the chisel is the murder weapon. But why mislead us in this way? Why indeed? Why make us think the chisel is the murder weapon rather than whatever was really used? Warden, you took advantage of what the chisel seemed to suggest. What it suggested? What are you talking about, darling? Mr. Winner, if I were to tell you the murder weapon was a chisel, what would you think? Huh? That Mr. Canis is the killer? And there you have it. That was the trap the warden set for us.
Oh, Mr. Canis has a bunch of chisels, so she wanted us to think it was one of his, right?
Indeed. That was our plan right from the start. To frame Bohid Canis. Jeez, I hate that name. I'm bad at pronouncing it. Your reasoning would appear to be sound. Warden Lagarde certainly seems to harbor a deep and abiding hatred for Mr. Canis. However, I think you know what I am going to say next. That alone is not sufficient proof that Warden Lagarde is the killer. I knew that wouldn't be enough. There's only one thing that will prove it. The real murder weapon that we now know must exist. If you cannot prove your theory, then this conversation ends here. If we could find the real murder weapon. How many times do we have to go over this? We searched the prison from top to bottom. Eustace is quite correct. And no other possible murder weapon has been found. So I'm afraid you're at a bit of an impasse. I can still prove my case yet, Your Honor, because it's still here inside this prison. This would have made sure of that. The security gate? It doesn't scan objects, though. It only scans fucking people! Sorry, I'm okay. I am glad you at least remember what it is. And do you remember what it does, little Eustace Winner? Of course they do. I'm not an idiot. The security gate detects metal. Which you means you can't bring anything metal into the prison or take it. Oh. Precisely. If there is another murder weapon. Are we just gonna glaze over the fact that we had a whole goddamn testimony about how, like, the judge comes over like, tee, there was obviously a weapon in this chess set and it didn't activate the gate because the people only go through the gate. And yet now we're okay with, like, lol, no, it couldn't have left the prison because it went through the gate. Fuck you, game! Ah! There's another murder weapon. It cannot have been taken off the premises. But nor can it have been brought into the prison in the first place. And so we find ourselves right back where we began. Judge Cavell? What I am trying to tell you, Mr. Edgeworth, is that if you wish to believe that there is another murder weapon here in the prison, you will also have to explain to me how it got here. All right. We know that the chisel was smuggled into the prison inside a pocket chess set. But our contention is that the chisel is not the real murder weapon. So if the weapon came from outside the facility, then there must have been a way to bring it in. Yes, the question of the hour is this. Can you show me this alternate route? The warden could have smuggled it in along with everything fucking else. How did the weapon Warden Lagarde use to get into the prison? Of course, that's how. And the fact that this is here with us shows how a bladed object could have been brought into the facility as well. Right, it's usually attached to a blade and the blade's not there. Allow me to remind you of our conversation with Mr. Canis yesterday.
Yes, it was blah, blah, blah. It's a flashback. I'm not actually going to read this, but hello, I am Canis. Are you alright at home? This is a pretty shitty case. Mine was far more fascinating before I was arrested. If only you got to have done that case.
So you see, there is a way for objects to be brought into the prison unscrutinized, as part of the evidence Warden Lagarde borrowed from the police. What? Mr. Canis's knife was part of the evidence in the case against him, and that evidence was here in the prison. Not only that, but the knife had a certain bell attached to it. The bell that was attached to the chisel. Correct. The killer took the bell from the knife and attached it to the chisel.
But that can't be right. The chisel only had Mr. Knight's fingerprints on it.
Easy enough to explain if the killer wore gloves. She made it look as if the chisel was the murder weapon and then attached the bell to it. In so doing, she made sure that all the evidence pointed to Mr. Canis. And who had access to the evidence from which the bell was taken? Why, only the person to whom it had been entrusted. Who was it, sir? Who has been messing with the evidence? I said that earlier, Detective. Keep up, you himbo of a man. I believe that would be you. Isn't that correct, Warden Lagarde? But bells aren't exactly rare, you know. Anybody could have set that up. Unluckily for you, that isn't quite true. These particular bells are unique because there are only 2 of them in existence. What? By attaching that bell to the chisel, you as good as declared yourself the killer. But you don't have any proof that the knife has ever even been here to begin with. Jesus. I don't. Not yet, anyway. Mr. Winner, I'd like you to order another search of the prison right away.
Huh?
But if you do find something, that's going to make things awkward for me. Eustace! You suck! This isn't about what's convenient for you. We have to find the truth. You're a prosecutor, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but, you know.
This worthless excuse for a prosecutor. If I had investigative authority, I wouldn't be sitting on it.
Anyhow, it's not my decision to make. The warden would have to authorize it.
You know full well that she will do no such thing. You have the power to insist on a search. Use it! Sorry, darling, but not without that evidence. The goddess of justice cannot bestow her blessing on those who lack the proof to support their claims. Our work here is done. The rest of this matter will have to be settled in the courtroom. No! If we give Lagarde the opportunity, she'll destroy whatever evidence is left! I have to object. I have to stop them! What do I say? I don't have anything concrete to offer. What am I thinking? I'm never this reckless! No, you've been this reckless before, back in Trials and Tribulations, buddy. No, I can't back down now. I've got to put everything on the line. I'm not a prosecutor right now. I'm an associate attorney with a client to defend. Only I can save Mr. Saint. And that means... Yeah, Edgeworth, you're falling into the exact same trap Phoenix had to get out of in Game 2. Even if my chances are 1,000,000 to 1, still worth a shot. It's now or never. Should I object? Yeah, fucking do it. It's Ace Attorney. I suppose this must be how a certain serial bluffer always feels. That sweet boyfriend of mine who we cannot name for some reason. Regardless, I cannot walk away.
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor. This had better be good, Mr. Edgeworth. I've got it. Got what, exactly? The real murder weapon, of course. I know where Mr. Canis's knife is.
Do you really, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. Not at all. If I did not know better, I would say that you were bluffing. Huh, you wound me, Your Honor. I don't know the meaning of the word. This is terrible for my heart. There's no way you could... It's not here, I tell you. Well, would you be so kind as to enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon? You are noisy back there. Think, Miles, think. Somewhere not even the police would search. A blind spot in this zoo. A hiding place that the warden could be absolutely sure of. A hiding place? Did she use the same trick? No, that's ridiculous. Isn't it? But the more I think about it, how many foolproof ways to evade detection could there be? Mr. Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting? There's the faintest possibility I'm right, but if I'm wrong, we stand to lose everything. Your Honor, this is where the real murder weapon is hidden.
Take that!
Here? In the yard? Indeed. I don't believe I understand. Would you care to explain a little more? Where exactly is the real murder weapon hidden? Hello. Little alligator. God, this is dumb. Of course. That's what it must have been. The metal detector was reacting to something inside her after all. Your Honor, I'd like to remind you of this piece of evidence. The chisel. Didn't we just figure out that isn't the murder weapon? You might recall that Mr. Canis hid the chisel in his dog's mouth. Would you believe that the real murder weapon was hidden in much the same way? That poor alligator's poor mouth has been cut to ribbons, the poor thing. That's right, the murder weapon is hidden inside the alligator in that pond over there.
What? No way!
We detected the presence of a metallic object during our earlier investigation. Judge Gavelle, we need to know what's inside that alligator. Understood. Then we will need to summon a veterinarian.
I'm sure I could get the little sweetie to open up for us. I'd be happy to give it a try.
Please, by all means. Hooray, Regina's fucking useful.
Oh, that was so nice of you.
Warden Lagarde, the real murder weapon is about to be revealed. Why not do the right thing and confess? I have nothing to confess! As you wish. Then you can simply wait and watch as your lies are exposed. No! Sir, we got it!
That has to be it!
It's over, Fifi Lagarde. The real murder weapon was Bodhidharm... Bodhidharm Makanis's knife! Making you the only person who could have killed Bronco Knight. Oh, her breakdown's great. I'm not the criminal here! This is all Canis is doing! I did the right thing! Knight was a threat! He was Candace's lapdog! Curse that despicable man, Candace! Why did he have to come and ruin my perfect little home? We could have been happy forever if it wasn't for him! He ruined my paradise on earth! He ruined everything! Curse him! Curse that pitiless butcher! That awful, terrible, despicable man! Curse him! Oh, I can't go that long. Oh! Oh! Oh, no, you're already in prison clothes. Good for us, I guess. That makes it easy. Prosecutor Thwinner, sir! Thank you, forensics, for calling him Thwinner. The test results have just come back. Thwinner? I guess we've all been under a lot of stress. Traces of Bronco Knight's blood were found on Mr. Candace's knife. It's just like you said, sir. Congratulations on a stunning victory. Thank you, officer. Excellent work. Sorry, that Mike just attacked me. You can continue complimenting me if you'd like. I choked on the stupidity of that. Fuck this game. Yes, sir, the winner wins again. I think I'm welling up a little. With a rage. Excellent work, Eustace. Just a few loose ends to tie up and we're done. Huh? What are you talking about? I just solved the case, didn't I? Fuck you! We have yet to confirm whether or not Knight really was working for Mr. Canis. It will be vital to know if Warden Lagarde was simply jumping to conclusions on that front. Huh? Huh? There's Clueless. And then there's you. Hold on. Sorry, I just need to take a photo of that. Thank you. Well, then I guess we'd better get back to our investigation. All right, officer. You're with me. You're about to see the winner win a whole lot more. Prepare to witness first-rate investigative talent in action. Yes, sir. I'm right with you, sir. Can't wait to watch your work. It's winning time! God, I hate you. And I hate you even more. I expect this case will cause quite a stir. The attempted murder of a president is news enough, and now his would-be assassin has been murdered. But Knight never sought to kill the president in the first place. The truth is not always as important as it might seem, Mr. Edgeworth. In the eyes of both society and the law.
How can you even say that?
You do not have to believe me. However, as a prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth is obliged to accept that this is the reality of the world he operates in. Being a prosecutor is about more than proving people guilty. That's what I believe. We are all free to believe as we choose. But the law is not to be toyed with for our own personal goals. If you refuse to accept this, then you must prepare to suffer the consequences. What does that even mean? Wait, you're not going to take his... I'm afraid I must be going now. Farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. Fuck off, bitch. I hate you. Judge Cavell is right. There must be only one set of laws for everyone. But if following the law means sacrificing the truth, can I really do that in good conscience? Hi, Simeon. Simeon! You're out! Money! Hi, Regina! Is everything alright? They did let you out, right? You didn't just escape? Yeah. But I'm still confused about what's going on. Some guy just came and said I was free to go, and then I have Mr. Edgeworth to thank.
You sure do. Mr. Edgeworth found out who the real killer is.
Wow, really? You did that for me, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh no! No, stop staring at me like that! I'm innocent, I swear! Don't pull the rug out from under me now!
Stop it, silly. It's true. He saved you. So say thanks already.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Thank you.
And a great big Regina Berry thank you from me too.
Mr. Saint, talking directly to me. Small victories, I suppose. Can I just ask one question, Mr. Attorney? Sure. I'm not actually an attorney, though. I thought Bronco was my friend. No, my best friend. I trusted him. But now... Well, it's just... I never knew. I never would have believed that he could hate somebody enough to want to kill them. If he kept something like that from me, then he never really trusted me, did he?
That's not true, Simeon. Of course he trusted you.
No, he didn't. If he just told me, I could have stopped him. I could have told him that hate never helps, that he had to let go of all that stuff. Mr. Saint, I think you're forgetting something. I should show him the thing that proves Knight trusted him. Take that. It's the chess set I brought for him. Knight had hidden a chisel inside. I imagined he meant to use it to escape. What? You mean he was using me? Yes, you idiot. No, he believed in you. He knew he could count on you to bring it, and that he would never be so untrusting as to look inside. I imagine that by not telling you, he was hoping he could keep you from getting caught up in his mess. Oh! Uncle! Why didn't you tell me?
At least you understand now, right, Simeon?
I'm sure he does. He may not show it, but Simeon's no dummy. A good night's sleep and he'll be completely over this whole thing by tomorrow, including the death of his best friend. He's a star now or whatever. I don't think I've healed from my own problems.
That's not as complimentary as you think it is. I'll try. I have to, for Bronco. I have to show him I can become the best animal trainer out there. That's the spirit. Oh, the monkey has you. You're gonna... Buddy, don't do it, Money. Money. Oh, I almost forgot. We're doing a new show soon. I'd love if you could come, Mr. Edgeworth. Hi, Maximilian Galactica. I'll be joining Regina on stage for this one.
That's right. The Very Big Circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. You'll have oodles of fun.
Sounds great, doesn't it, Mr. Edgeworth? Come on, we have to go.
Well, I'll think about it.
All right, Simeon, we've got some training to do. I think it's time you and Regent got acquainted.
What? Regent the tiger? No way, I can't. No.
Oh, you'll be fine, silly. You'll never meet a nicer kitty cat. It's only attacked 2 people.
I can't. Please, Regina, anything but that, please. Another satisfied customer. I'll never get paid, though, since we never went to court. Hooray. Well, that was really something, Smiles. Talk about pulling it out of the bag. I couldn't have done it without you, Fender. Without your timely intervention, she would have gotten away. Besides, I have you to thank for even being able to investigate the case in the first place. Oh, stop it. Pat me on the back any harder and you're going to make me blush. Or topple over. I suppose it would be asking too much for you to take this seriously. Seriously? Miles, my friend. I'm always serious. Anyway, how does it feel to save an innocent client? That's what it means to be an attorney, after all. To be an attorney. Gotta say, I had a blast. Reminded me of the good old days. Like Gregory was standing there right beside me. It's been like a zillion years since I felt this warm and fuzzy on the job. That's good? Bittersweet. I'm not sure. Say, Miles, ever thought about going into the defense game full time? Excuse me? You know, pick up where Gregory left off. Get out there and actually help people. Hey, pal, don't get any big ideas. Mr. Edgeworth ain't about to switch sides. Why not? Coming over to the light side's all the rage. Everybody's doing it these days.
Come on, Mr. Fender. You know it's not about that.
Chill, team, chill. Don't get it twisted. I was just asking a perfectly innocent question.
No, you weren't.
The heck you were! Looks like you got a mean defense team there yourself, Miles. Fender, I am a prosecutor. Yep, and I'm an attorney. You could be one too. I'm serious. Well, I've said my piece. You change your mind, you know who to call. I'll be waiting. Do you need to take an entirely different bar depending on, like, what type of law you're going into? Because I don't think you need to take a law thing if you're still staying in criminal. But I don't know. Follow in my father's footsteps. Could I really do such a thing?
I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my dad. Whoa!
An attorney, like my father. Me. Thank God! Jesus, I am not starting the next case this time. It's almost 5, and that's usually my cutoff. So we'll start case 3. Oh my God, case 3 of 5. We'll start that next time. Thanks everybody for joining. I don't think Luke's streaming Saturday, but we will have Edgelord Sunday. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Edgelord will be Sunday. No Bug Fables on Saturday.
I'll see if I can try to find some other time to stream this
Here,
week.
why don't you announce?
I'm gonna see if I can try to find some time to stream this week, but I can't promise anything.
Yeah, we have it's around Christmas time. We got a lot of family stuff going on. I won't be streaming this next Wednesday because that is Christmas. So I will probably get back to you guys in January where we'll pick up case 3. Oh man. And then, fuck, I got so much to get through. Thank you guys for joining me. See you later.